There
There
we
we
go.
go.
Hello, everyone. It is Tuesday, August 12th, August 2014, and this is episode 2 of FaceRollin. This
Woo!
uses Fract OSC by Phosphede by Phosphede Systems.
Woohoo!
So, how's everyone doing? What have you guys played? Let's start with Alan, because he is
now playing Fract OSC according to Steam.
because according to Steam, he's playing Fract OSC right now.
Yep, I just started Fract OSC, so that's what I've been playing. Let me turn the volume down.
Excellent.
Yeah. What have you played in the last 2 weeks, fortnight?
I have played the sitting in an airplane game.
How was it?
Sitting in an airplane is really fun. What I like to do when I sit in an airplane is listen to music or podcasts and then watch the in-flight movies on silent and try and guess what's happening.
That's what I do at the dentist office.
Yeah, and you can kind of fill in your own story, and it's fun, and it's way more fun than the actual movie. So there was I think a recent Spider-Man movie that didn't look very good. A lot of emo people in it. So from what I can gather, like everyone was emo, and then at the end they were just more emo.
Yeah, basically.
Piano skate.
Yep. Okay, good. Got that one right.
Yeah,
and then there
that's
was another
pretty
movie that
accurate.
looked like The Hunger Games, but then ended up not being The Hunger Games.
Divergent, because I had to
Yes,
watch that
Divergent.
on the plane.
Yes.
Oh my god, that was on a flight that I took last week. It is the worst movie ever.
Yeah. It looked really well. At first, it looked like The Hunger Games. Then I didn't see any Hunger Games happening, and so I figured it probably wasn't The Hunger Games.
It's like almost the Hunger Games, except instead of like breaking off people into the work they do, they break off people into the only emotions that they can feel, because apparently that's a thing.
Right. Yeah. Well, and then basically I got off the plane. I got into work this morning because that was a wise decision, and then and I immediately typed into Google just like all the things I remembered about the movie, because I didn't know what it was, right? I just saw it on flight. And so I just typed in like blood into bowl, water, coal, stone, leap of faith, training.
Girl hugs baby mom.
yeah, right. Just all the dog hallucination, just like all the I typed that all in.
By birds on fire.
Yes.
Yeah, Google is really good with vague descriptions. My friend was looking for an animation about two guys on a map, and she asked me about it, and I was like, I don't know. So I typed into Google, animation about two guys on a map, first result.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So I did that, and it didn't work the first time, and then I removed some of the less helpful phrases, and then I found it. So yeah, Divergent, hell of a movie.
It's awful. Don't ever watch it with the sound on. I can definitely suggest that.
Yeah. Yep.
It's way better on mute.
Oh yeah.
So this is a podcast about video games.
Yes. So
okay.
since it's about video games, and you were in Japan, did you play any interesting arcade games?
I did. Yeah. So I was in Japan for about a week and change, 10 days ish, and got a few, like a day and a half or so, to wander around Akihabara, which is the big like video game and other geekery sort of section of the city. And they've got some awesome game stores, like huge, massive, multi-story game stores. It's like first floor is usually like electronics, and the second and third floor are games, and then the fourth floor is like sort of games, but this is getting a little iffy, and then the fifth floor is like full-on porn.
Or just porn.
I know, full on. Like, I mean, this is like you walk into what looks like a camera store on the first floor, and so you're in like you're in like a Best Buy essentially. You're in a Best Buy. And then you go up one floor, and then it's like, oh, I'm in like a GameStop. And then you go up the next floor, and it's like, oh, I'm in like a cooler GameStop. And you go up the next floor, and it's like, oh, I'm in a kind of a sketchy GameStop. And then you go up
at
the next
very
floor,
top floor, you're like, I'm really at the Best Buy.
yeah, right. And then you're back to Best Buy.
Wait, so did they have like sections for like dating sim sort of stuff there too?
Oh
Or-
yeah. So here's the weird thing, right? PC gaming is not a thing in Japan except for dating sims.
Yep.
So
Really?
yeah, so like you talk about like major American PC games, people in Japan, and they have no idea what you're talking. Like Dota, League of Legends, like StarCraft, like any of these, Hearthstone, like any of these major PC games, they're not playing because they're not, like, PC gaming is just not a thing in Japan, which is weird because there's a massive selection of PC games available. They're just not what you would associate with PC gaming.
When I want to play a PC game, it's definitely to see just still images of naked girls on my screen with, like, novels worth of text come up.
Yep.
Wait, I thought all dating sims were about pigeons.
Well, Wi-Fi isn't very widespread in Japan either, so it would make sense that the home computer is considered more for work and, like,
Porn.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, internet connections are great there, but yeah, it's probably more predominantly desktops than. But still, I don't know. I mean, it's just. Mobile games are super popular, and handheld and mobile phone games, but and arcades are popular. But,
I mean, they're big on Sony, aren't they?
Yeah, and not so big on Microsoft. Apparently there's a Japanese phrase to refer to the Xbox 360 that translates directly to shitbox.
Are you serious?
Wow, great marketing.
Yeah.
Just make
That
those
is
two bucks.
fantastic.
So actually, the Xbox One hasn't launched there yet, but in pretty much every major electronics store I went to, there was a massive Xbox One display, like really, really pouring it on, thick. So we'll see if that works out for them.
It didn't work out for him here, if sales figures are to be believed.
Nope. No, not really.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Wii U is outselling it now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if it's outselling it, but I know that the Nintendo lost less money than Microsoft did this quarter. So if that means you're winning, then yes,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
winning.
It's the race to the top of the bottom.
These are all
Sony.
multi-million-dollar companies.
Yeah.
I don't
Sony's the
think
winner
anyone's
right
really
now.
Yeah.
Right,
So the hot game everyone is playing in the Japanese arcades right now is a Mobile Suit Gundam game.
Are you serious?
Yes, with these it's like a it's like a 4-button game, like joystick and 4 buttons, and you sort of like, it's a bunch of Gundams on a map together, like 16 players, and they're all in the same arcade a lot of the time.
It's kind of like Virtua On. Did you ever play Virtua On?
I have not played it. No.
Okay, that was basically a game with a joystick and some buttons, and you just flew a robot around shooting stuff, other people.
Yeah,
I was hoping that it would be like you stick your arms into this thing and then you're like, I'm Mobile Suit Gundam.
Like either Big O or like Pacific Rim or something like that.
Yep.
Well, so it's very like, the controls are basically like select next enemy and then shoot. And then like select next enemy and shoot, and then you move around with the joystick and do that. I think there are like supers and combos and stuff too, but I don't read Japanese.
probably made it hard to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you find the table flip game?
No, I didn't. There's no table flip game to be found, unfortunately.
Oh, that's lame. I played one. It wasn't Japanese, but it was. Well, I guess it makes sense. It was a Japanese mall in San Francisco, and yeah, I flipped a table.
Nice.
That sounds awesome.
Like like the way it works is like your family gets out of line,
Mm-hmm.
Your
Like they
family
do.
and you're like banging the table every time they do something shitty,
Wow.
You're working.
and then you flip the table at them and like flies, like hits your wife in the face and stuff. It's great.
So it's family abuse the game.
Well, kind of. They're being shitty to you by like not eating dinner.
Like they were definitely asking for it at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Yep. So is that it, Alan?
Well, so one other cool thing about Japanese arcades is all the machines have these card readers now. They're called Nessica cards, and so everyone has like an actual basically a NFC RFID card that they carry around with them, and they tap it to the machine before they start playing, and then that is like signs them in. So they so it tracks your high scores and your like performance and all that stuff, across all arcade machines in Japan, essentially.
So cool.
So it's kind of like the old Initial D ones, but more widespread.
That's really cool.
Did you ever play Initial D? It was
I
kind of...
no.
Okay, Initial D had a card that you got that like tracked your car's progress on it, so you could upgrade your
I
car.
remember that.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
man.
actually, which is a Japanese game, so it makes sense that obviously
Yeah,
they would keep going
And
with
you
that
could
technology.
scan it at different arcades and stuff too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I remember.
Yeah, so this is like that, but universal. Like it's not just it's across all brands of game. Like I Persona 4 the Ultimate, the Persona 4 fighting game asked for it. This mech game asked for it. Puzzles and Dragons arcade game asked for it.
So now I can finally track my table flipping scores.
It really
Exactly.
So,
Cool.
so how widespread are arcades in Japan? Are they still fairly popular? Because I know in the U.S. arcades are kind of like
Hard to
kind of janky.
They're way more popular than they are here. And in Akihabara, they're all over the place. But pretty much like the structure of an arcade in Japan is first floor UFO catchers, which is like the sort of the grabby claw. You put $1 in and then you try and knock like an anime statue off of a shelf, and then it goes down into a thing and you get it. But it never. I mean, it doesn't happen. It takes like $20 of tries in order to get that to happen.
I am amazed that there is a multi-floor arcade. First off.
Oh well, everything's multi. Yeah, in Akihabara, everything's multi-floor because it's like downtown. Yeah, there was an 8-floor. You know in Pokemon, all the like department stores with the little elevators and the.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like every building is that. There's
The top floor of every building is hardcore pornography.
right. Yeah, pretty much.
By the top floor of Pokemon is all vending machines.
Including the areas.
No, that's the roof.
Yeah.
The Toys R Us, pornography on top, just...
Oh.
Well, I mean, it just changes the kind of toys it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's body pillows and, all that kind of weird shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So UFO catchers are crazy popular. Pachinko is also crazy popular.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Neither of those are very good games, but
Yeah, I
they tend
heard
to
it.
occupy like most of the prime floor space, and then the actual arcade tends to be in the upper floors.
I heard most of Sega's like Japanese profits are from pachinko machines.
I do not doubt it. Yeah. Pachinko parlors are everywhere and massive and clearly making a lot of money.
They're pretty much gambling machines, right?
So it's weird because I don't think you actually get money out of them.
Yeah,
Um,
really.
You get the balls out of them.
I mean they're gambling machines that you put money into. Yeah.
Does Dota 2 count as a gambling machine? Because it's kind of the same,
I
right?
think they're kind of like Dota 2. Yeah, I think actually that's.
Pachinko machines give you, when you win, you get the Pachinko balls that are in it.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can, turn in the balls for more money.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
They're like
like poker chips?
They're like poker chips. They're
Okay.
just really tiny poker chips that you can lose under the machine.
They're little marble poker chips.
Yeah, that's how Japan does gambling, basically. Since gambling is illegal, they give you prizes and then you trade in the prizes.
Ah,
So
clever.
I played one pachinko machine, and
Did you have to stop, Alan? Did you have to stop yourself?
Do you need a hotline?
so you put like $1 into it and you get like 60 balls. And so
Dream come true.
yeah, I know, right? And so so basically like it actually, I mean so I was doing like one at a time, like okay, let's see where this one goes, and following it and being like, oh, it got in the thing, or like, oh no, it failed. So I was doing that for each one, and then I'm like, there are like 50 more of these, and so eventually you just start you just turn the knob, and they just all come flowing down. And at that point, like it doesn't you have no idea what's going on, and it doesn't matter, and nothing sensical is happening. But when you look at other people playing pachinko, that's what they're doing. They're putting money in, and then they're just constantly turning the knob to make more balls come down and potentially get in the little thing. Yeah, so it's just it was seemed rather pointless.
But it's like, bumpy marble slots.
Yeah, it's like
true.
ADD slots. You can see everything happening at the same time. You
Yeah.
have to wait for it to finish cycling around.
I mean, I've seen some crazy pachinko machines though.
Yeah, that's true.
You think of the crazy slot machines where you're pressing buttons and crazy shit's going on screen. Those machines, it's just there's slot machines behind the bouncing stuff sometimes, and all this other crazy crap going on.
There's characters that fight when certain things happen on a screen behind it. Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Japan has revolutionized gambling.
They're good at that.
Yeah. So, and went to Super Potato.
Wait, what? You went to Super Potato?
Super Potato. It's they're a vintage games retailer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Fairly overpriced compared to other places, but they have there's some cool stuff, and they have like I don't know. I guess it's the place to go. So it was cool. But I by far preferred. There was a retailer that just had like a room of really cheap used games, and so I just picked up a bunch of PS1 and Saturn used, like Japanese.
Nice.
Yeah. Most of which I don't know what the hell they are.
Yeah. How are you gonna play those if you can't read Japanese?
Well, so
That's part of the fun.
yeah, I mean, I think that's what I'm looking for.
And make up your own storyline.
Yep.
No, it's part of the challenge that was designed with, is you gotta understand, figure out what it means. It's part of the mystery.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was Japan, plus conveyor belt sushi, plus a lot of other sushi, plus ramen.
God, I hate you so much right now.
So here's the ramen place that I went to there. There's a vending machine outside where you put coins in the vending machine and then select what food you're gonna, like the ramen you're gonna want, and then the things you're gonna want on your ramen, and you use little tickets. Then you go inside and you sit down in a little booth thing that's just you in a booth, and then there's a curtain, and you slide your tickets up to the curtain, and you press a button, and then someone comes along behind the curtain and collects your tickets, and then brings you ramen.
That's so fucking creepy,
Like a
dude.
ramen porno theater?
Right. You do not interact with a human this whole time. I mean, you
Was it on the top floor of a building?
yeah, right. Yeah.
What was in
No,
your
this-
what was in your
Eat it on ramen, which is actually like this is a pretty common, popular ramen chain in Japan, and it makes total sense. It's like if I'm coming in late at night for some ramen, I don't want to be bothered by like people, right? I want to sit down in an enclosed environment with my ramen and enjoy it.
Wow.
In a sterile black booth.
They bleach it every time you leave and shit.
Okay. Enough of the food cast.
Yeah. So anyway, that was Japan.
Jacob and/or Trevor and/or Evie.
Yeah.
What have you guys played in the last 2 weeks?
We all have different answers.
Yeah.
Trev, go
I'll
first.
start.
first because you're on the list.
I'll start while you guys eat cookies.
Yeah.
So I recently finished The Last Story on the Wii, which is a game from the creator of Final Fantasy.
Nice.
Oh god.
He left Square Enix many moons ago.
When 13 happened.
Yeah. And the first game that he made after leaving them was Lost Odyssey on the 360, and I wasn't crazy about it. But The Last Story was a much cooler game. Like if you played any of the recent Final Fantasy games and you wished that they were more like the pre-Final Fantasy VII games, like 6 and 4.
So Bravely Default?
Yeah, something like that. This game
It's
kind
pretty
of
different though.
in terms of the story, it's more like the older ones, but then the actual gameplay system is more like the newer ones.
It's like 12.
Yeah. It kind of in the sense that all the combat and the exploration happens on the same screen. There's no alternate screen for battle, and you're actually pressing buttons to attack and stuff. It's not turn-based select a prompt or anything like that. I will say though, this game does not look good. Even for a Wii game, it looks real bad.
It looks like a hot garbage.
It's super clunky.
if I had put the game in and hidden which console I was playing it on somehow, I think people would guess it was maybe PlayStation 1 sometimes.
Wow.
PlayStation 1.
It definitely
Early PS2.
it's rough.
It looks sort of early.
It's
PS2.
in between Final Fantasy 9 and 10 graphics.
It looks really rough.
However, it does let you choose whatever outfits you want for your characters.
Yeah, it lets you choose. Yeah, it lets you choose which horribly textured outfit you want for your
So there
character.
is that innovation.
The game is pretty great because it takes the Final Fantasy stereotype of dressing the women like sluts and puts that to everyone. Everyone dresses like a slut.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter
There's,
what gender they are.
There's a type of armor called Brave Armor, And I guess it's brave because like you don't have a
Because your
lot.
dick is hanging out.
And like no matter what character you put the brave pants on, like it always just hangs way too low. Doesn't matter which character. They just cannot find a belt for their pants. But
They are brave. They don't care
Yeah.
about their junk.
But overall, it was a good game. Just don't get it and expect it to look like great.
Or to
Like,
run above like 20 FPS.
I want to temper. Yeah, that was another thing. It's like as soon as there's a lot of enemies on screen, that game really just chugs.
So it looks like crap and runs like crap?
But you know what? Like,
We're really selling it.
yeah, I know. Like, despite everything I'm saying, like I'm doing that to temper expectations. Like I can't throw praise on it without doing that. But I really enjoyed it. Like overall, I actually did like have a good time. Like I enjoyed the story for the most part. There were a couple of moments that were like, oh no.
Yeah,
For the parts you could understand.
the bitch
but, like-
slapping of the princess over and over again was sort of a sore spot.
Yeah, but you know what? She gets to slap him back. So
That is true.
um,
There's resolution.
there is resolution. And like the other cool thing, one of the things that was both like a little annoying but awesome at the same time was like the last 10 hours of the game are just like straight up warfare. And it just is like, the game has a lot of really calm moments, and those last 10 hours are just like extreme the entire time. Like there is just always just like battle and plot twist and just insane things happening. And it made the end of that game just like really cool. It was a lot of fun. But that's me. I'm done.
What platform is that on?
It's on the Wii.
Okay,
and you
okay.
can
What
play-
is the control scheme like?
I highly recommend the classic controller. That's what the
I'll bet.
So the way that the control scheme works otherwise is you can hold the controller like sideways, or you can use a nunchuck. You can press a button to attack, and then you actually can get in cover and like hide from enemies and like try to trick them and then sneak up on them and get like bonus damage. And a lot of that stuff actually handles really well, partly because they don't rely on you pointing at the screen to do a lot of stuff. But I highly recommend the classic controller just because I feel like it just felt a lot better being able to use two joysticks, because trying to move the screen and your character at the same time using the Wiimote and the nunchuck was a pain. Whereas with the classic controller you have the dual joysticks, and it makes keeping an eye on things a lot easier. But overall, like I actually really did enjoy it. I thought it was great. I will warn anyone out there who like is interested in this though that it is hard to find. It came about as part of it was a company called Xseed, and they brought two JRPGs over here that got localized for the UK, but did not get localized for America, and they helped bring them here. So all the voice acting is British. The other game was Xenoblade Chronicles, and Last Story is the other one. And they're both very hard to find now. This one's a little bit easier to find. This one will cost you maybe like 20 to 30. Xenoblade Chronicles, on the other hand, ranges anywhere from like 70 to 100 right now.
Oh
Jeez.
wow.
Yeah, it's tough to find. But anyway, that's me. I'm done.
That's not true. You finished Shattered Memories like
Like 2 minutes ago.
2
yeah.
minutes ago.
But I only want to talk about one game, otherwise we're going to be here all night, because if I talk about all the games I've been playing, then we'll never
That's
stop.
true. There's like
So,
3 other games you would play.
yeah, so I'm done for now. That's the only one I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Your turn.
All right, my turn. So I've been playing 2 games because my main love right now is Eidolon.
Oh my god, Eidolon is so good. Oh my gosh. So good.
The best game ever. I love it so much. I don't even know if I want to. I've talked about it with most of you by now already because I'm just totally fangirling over it. But it's first person, which is amazing because usually first person makes me want to throw up. But this one did not. There is story in that what you find provides context, but otherwise you're never given any sort of prompts. There's never like a, hey, you just found a compass. Use the compass to find your location and follow the bird.
This Eidolon?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like you're
Sorry,
never...
my dad called. I had to go upstairs.
It's all right.
So you're trying to find these little pieces of, paraphernalia from the past. It's a post-apocalyptic. And you just wander, and you need to find food, but that's never really a problem. Tends to be food pretty frequently. The only time I've starved is when I've gotten sick and started throwing up a lot, and then run out of fish, and then I die.
Or when Trevor's game glitched and didn't spawn berries on any of the bushes.
That's true. That was a terrible day. That was the worst day to play Eidolon, because I would walk up to a blackberry bush and I'd be like, this is a blackberry bush. I know this because previous games I have gone up to these bushes and there have been blackberries and there would be nothing. I would walk up to where mushrooms would spawn and I'd be like, this is a mushroom spot because it has that little white little arrow thingy that mushrooms grow out of. No mushrooms. No, it's just this little white triangle on the ground. I don't know. There's no shading in this game. It's all just flat color. So a tree is green and brown, and you're going to live with that. And here's another tree, and it is also green and brown.
It looks a lot like the first Katamari Damacy.
Yeah, it's like sort of a whimsical color scheme. But it makes cliffs really terrible because if the cliff is really high and you're on grass, and at the bottom of the cliff is also grass, it just looks like grass with maybe a line. And you're like, huh, I think I can walk here. Nope, you can't. The bird lied.
The bird killed you.
The bird has killed me several times. So there's this bird, and you chase after it if you want to. You don't have to chase after this bird, but it's the only living thing you see constantly. And so you grow a connection to it. At least I don't know, Kelly, have you grown a connection to the bird?
I have.
Yeah, so you grow a connection to this bird. And it's, I don't know, I think the part that... What?
Sorry, I saw that.
This is why there's no camera on. So if... I lost my train of thought because we laughed.
The bird.
The bird.
Oh, yeah, so the bird. So it's the only thing that you see constantly. Everything else is, like, there's some wildlife every once in a while, but there's no other people. You don't even know if you're a person. You can't look at yourself. You can fish, but when you fish, you never see your hands. Everything is, like, in front of you, but there's no character model for you. And that sort of forces the player to be the character, which is something that I haven't seen, except for, like, Minecraft is the only other game I can think of where people don't talk about their character, they talk about what they've been doing. Eidolon forces you to say, this is what I have been doing, instead of saying, well, this is what, this character is wandering around and there's all this stuff. It's like, well, I've been wandering around in this post-apocalyptic world, and this fucking bird keeps leading me off of ledges in the middle of the night.
Apocalyptic Seattle.
And I land in a fucking marsh and drown. Fuck the bird is what I'm saying, but also I hope it never dies.
That's all your journal says is fuck the bird.
It's
the bird isn't dead.
So that's not true. Sometimes it says you didn't go after that glowy dot in the night. Don't forget to turn around. It's west, I think. The bird is a dick. I never forget to write the bird is a dick. So that's been my main love, but it's not out for Mac yet, which is a problem for me.
Friday.
But it comes out Friday supposedly, so that's exciting. So when Trevor is playing his games or working or just wants to use his own computer, as is his right, I've been playing Mountain Blade, which is out now.
Oh yes.
The Mac. So I'm in the beta for Mountain Blade.
You're in the beta for like a 5-year-old game.
I'm in beta.
It's amazing.
Very special bugs right now.
They're the features. They're definitely features.
Okay, so if you go into a battle at night, there is a very high chance that someone might get stuck in the skybox.
Oh my god.
And be
Wait, why is that a Mac specific issue? Like, what's the?
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
It's never happened in my game on my Windows computer. It's never happened. On my Mac game, it happens pretty consistently when I'm at night.
It's pretty awesome.
And it'll be someone. It'll either be my horse, or it'll be one of like my main character people, and they'll be bright red in the sky. And whatever they're doing on the ground, because they're still there in the battle, whatever they're doing, you see up in the sky, super blown up. So it looks like the sky is having a rave of like
horses.
And then sometimes I'll be like talking to someone, and the game will glitch, and it'll just start saying error on the side of like where the notes are supposed to happen, like this person is taking over the city, it'll stop that and just be like, could not load message, and that'll just be for like a solid 2 screens worth of could not load message, and then I'll stop talking to someone and it'll be like, oh, I found myself.
So which race or army or whatever are you allied with?
Right now I am. So I started out as a woman because I like to play as my own gender, and immediately semi-regretted it because I forgot to make myself a noble woman. And I was just
shit on.
They gave not to and be like, hey guys, can I be in your club? Your club looks really cool. I'd really like to be. They'd be like, no, you need to leave. Like,
Wow.
you aren't welcome here. I'm sorry. I'd ask someone to marry me, and they'd be like, why would I ever do that?
Okay, but that's not even just because, like, of who you picked, because I am a queen in my game, and people will still not fucking marry me. I am one undesirable queen in my game, let me tell you.
I know all of these noble ones, but like you'd be like, okay, you're not going to betray the king, so you're a better, choice to sort of work together with. They're like, no, there's this other woman that's like stolen my heart. I'm sorry, you just are too warriorly. I want my woman to be like soft and petite and wonderful, and I'm like, dude.
And not kill me.
And not, not backstabbing. But yeah, so I eventually started my own kingdom and continued to be shat on because everyone really, really hated the person that I nominated to be a lord. It was like Nadir, I think?
Nazir, yeah.
So I made Nazir a lord because I was like, you have the highest leadership right now, so you be a lord as well. And that made like every single country declare war on me.
Oh my god.
Every time they talk to me, they'd be like, I can't believe you made the scum of the earth a lord. And I was like, dude, I am sorry. I did not know he was hated by everyone. I thought he was a pretty cool guy at the time.
Help me out.
I can't, there's nothing I can do about it now. I gave him lordship. I can't take it back. This is not something I can help with. And so everyone hated me. And they broke my soul. And so I gave up my kingdom. Because I was like, clearly I'm not cut out to be.
So the way you talk about this game, it sounds almost identical to Crusader Kings.
Oh yeah.
But it is in no way Crusader Kings in any way.
Yep.
No, you actually see things in the game. It's not just text on a map.
Yeah.
Battles for me are like they're fun, but they're not. They're just a means to an end.
Oh, see, I hate when I'm not in warfare because I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
not
same.
I'm way more into getting lords on everyone is my friend right now. So I gave up my kingdom. I joined the Vigors because they were pretty cool, and their contested kingdom isn't as terrible as the others. Like everyone else is like.
Are they the snow ones?
They're the white country.
Yeah, they start off in the snow. They're not the Nords though. The Nords are like.
Well, the Nords are like the sea people.
Yeah, the Nords are sort of sea people.
Yeah,
so
they're the snow people.
They're in between the continents.
Okay, yeah. The snow people are the ones I always ally with.
Yeah. I like the Vigors because the king was pretty okay with me. He was like, hey, I would totally make you a lord, except that all of the lords in my domain would hate me. So, if you could bring me some land, you would inherit that land when you, came to me and asked to be under my protection. So I did that, and he was like, oh, dude, that's awesome. Thank you. Just, be a lord. So we've had a great relationship, but I can't marry him, which sucks. Despite him not having a wife or children, so I cannot get into this family at all. It's just cut off to me, which sucks.
This is a level of depth in Mountain and Blade I never. I mean, I mostly ended up in the prison caravan thing, where some other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got into it.
I build a huge army. I go to fight along with one of the kings during their crusades or whatever. And then I lose, and then I get dragged behind. After I spend half an hour in a single battle, just me alone, circle strafing against a bunch of people and horses.
That sounds like Mountain Blade.
I usually play the game like a cockroach, actually, I guess. I wait for a kingdom to go to war, and then when one of them takes over another one's town and then inevitably leaves it with only 30 people in the garrison, I go and take over that town. I'm like, that's my town now.
Well, see, that's how I got my own kingdom. Was they invaded Dirham, and then they put like 10 people in there to protect it. I had like a 40-person army at the time, and I was like, man, I am equipped. I am ready to be queen.
My right to rule is so high right now.
My right to rule is like 5. I am good.
Your war score is like at 100%.
Dude, I had an honor rating
That
of
was a Crusader
25.
Kings
I was going places.
Okay.
So that's
That's
been my Mountain Blade.
Yep. So, Kelly, what have you been playing?
Oh, Jacob.
Oh, Jacob, sorry. Jacob, Kelly, and then me for like, I have like 5 minutes worth of stuff to say.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really been playing too much. I've been bouncing between games like World of Warcraft, Diablo 3, thanks to you two.
Yes.
I have a level 70 Crusader.
Whoa,
Holy
nice.
shit, what?
I can play on Torment 3 now.
Are you serious?
Dude, you have a problem, man. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
so for reference, if anyone actually listens to this, I started playing Diablo 3 like a week ago.
Shit.
Yeah, I can barely do Torment 1. I had my character since like vanilla Diablo 3.
I found out, if you take the Templar with you, nothing can kill you. You're the Crusader.
Yeah, the Templar is the best guy to take on every class.
Yeah, I mean, because, like, the Enchantress just annoys you and turns people into chickens. I'm like, what the fuck are you even doing?
You need to reel that.
She doesn't even have a Jamaican accent.
Yeah,
It's a real bummer.
and, like, she can't break down, like, a wooden barrier with the might of a Templar,
No.
so why on earth would I want her?
Only a Templar can break evil magic that is wooden barriers.
Door, wasn't it?
No, it's like a
Just locked
wooden,
door.
like,
It's like a
wooden
lattice.
barricade.
Yeah. It's like
It's
a
the one time in the game you're like hindered by an obstacle,
And he's like,
and you just like fuck
far,
this
far away.
shit.
And it's a fucking wooden barricade.
Witchcraft. I tell you.
Yeah.
Aside from that,
Is strong with this.
It's the work of demons.
I decided I wanted the Hearthsteed while I was playing WoW.
Yep.
And I had played Hearthstone like 2 months ago on a new account because I couldn't remember my old account stuff. And I was like, okay, I only have to win like 3 matches or something. I can do this. So I reinstalled Hearthstone, and I hate Hearthstone so
my God.
much.
You would get so angry. You'd be like, Jacob, you need to leave the room, like right now. Like,
That's just me with card games. I'm like, man, I love Magic. I play like 2 games. I'm like, fuck Magic, not playing for another 6 months.
My problem is like I love Magic and I love World of Warcraft, but I don't think Blizzard knows how to make a card game. Because every time I go online, it's like, wow, I'm either fighting Jaina Proudmoore or Anduin Ware, and this is exactly what I wanted to do.
Oh, priests
And-
are fun, dude.
Yeah, but then it's like, oh man, I want to play the Warlock, and it's like, oh sweet, my power is to hurt myself, and his power is to heal himself. I wonder who's gonna fucking win. Basically, fuck Hearthstone. I hate Hearthstone so much.
it's true. You hate it when you play Hearthstone.
Yeah, I
Because it's
uninstalled
just-
it and reinstalled it 3 times this week.
I don't know.
Because I would get bored, I'd be like, okay, I can do this. And then I would start playing it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the worst thing in my life.
No, yeah. When I played it, so I first played Hearthstone back when it was like fairly early in beta, like right before it got like really widely available, in closed beta, and I played maybe like 5 games, and I was like, well, not playing this anymore. I moved on, and then the Hearthsteed came out, and apparently I started an arena run, back when I played earlier, which had already 2 losses.
Nice.
And it was a horrible mage deck.
Great.
And I needed 3 wins to get the Hearthsteed. So I played that arena deck, 3 games, won all 3,
Nice.
and then I lost, and that's it. Got my Hearthsteed.
I think what kept bringing me back was
Haven't
the
played since.
Grammet stuff, because I really wanted to do that. But then, like, I would do that, I'm like, I'm just playing computers, so it's, like, not really that fun. I'll go online and see if that's fun. Jaina Proudmoore! It's like, oh my god. I wanted to die. I once started a match against a Jaina Proudmoore and just conceded immediately. Because I was like, I don't feel like doing this.
I don't hate myself that much.
Well, Hearthstone, I don't know. Hearthstone, I played Hearthstone for probably like 2, 3 weeks, and it was pretty fun as far as card games go. It's just that I feel like at a certain level you need to put money into the game in order to get anywhere.
That's not true. A lot of the top streamers have like free-to-play decks where they spend no money on them and they reach number one,
Yeah.
like rank 1.
Jesus.
Hey, Alan.
Yeah.
You've got a couple of arena. Made it pretty far. What's your record so far?
I went all the way in arena. I think it's 12 matches or something, and then it kicks you out.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, because they increased it. It used to be like 9 matches.
Yeah. I think it's 12. Anyway, yeah. So I've done that. I forget. I think it was with a paladin. And then there's so I've bought I think 1 pack total. One card pack, and that was to get the they were giving away if you helped them test their payment system, they would give you a card.
Yeah, the gnome guy.
Yeah,
I have him too.
Yeah.
Yep.
That
Oh, do you have the Elite Torn Chieftain?
No, I do not.
I have a golden Elite Torn Chieftain from the BlizzCon, like virtual ticket.
Yep.
That thing is amazing. I have it in my deck just because it looks cool. It screws me over every single time, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome card. Yeah, so there's a deck that actually the next Ramos expansion may have changed this a bit, but there was a deck called the Zulok, which is a warlock deck that just plays a bunch of minions, like very cheap minions.
Mm-hmm.
And that actually, that deck is you can construct with no paid cards, or without really needing to pay for cards because it requires very simple cards, and that will get you all the way up to legendary rank.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Yeah, it's also an incredibly cheap deck as well. So it's cheap in terms of cost, and it's also just cheap.
It's cheap in terms of self-worth.
Yeah.
cheap in terms of when you're done, you feel kind of bad inside.
Exactly. Yes.
No, that's the kind of bad I feel good about.
Alright, anyway, Kelly or Caps?
Yeah, Kelly, you go. I'll go last.
So I've been playing WoW and Eidolon pretty much. I actually played Eidolon for about like a couple hours with Evie, and it was actually a lot of fun. I really want to play it again because like I'm really curious about how everything became post-apocalyptic, right? Because like out of the stuff you find stuff from like 2035 to like 24 something, and so I really want to fill in all the gaps, and it's a lot of fun. But I actually also with WoW, so Clam Slam, right?
Yes.
My
The one and only.
my holy priest. So that's the one I boosted to 90 since I pre-ordered Warlords of Draenor, and I played some dungeons, and I did not suck.
Nice.
I'm learning how to heal as a priest, so that's
I
pretty
love
good.
Holy Priest because it is like I use 2 spells and heal everything all the time. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's like shield, tank, and then renew everything, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's like all you have to do. I haven't played Clown Sack since.
We should play. We should play sometime. I would
Yeah.
love to heal for you, and we might wipe, but that's okay. That's okay.
fine. I don't know how to play a Fury Warrior, so I'm sure I'll just like crap on everything.
Oh, you're not gonna make a tank warrior?
No, he's Fury.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Wait,
I don't like tanking as a warrior.
Because you wanted to dual wield 2-handed weapons, that's why.
Yeah,
Damn straight.
that's exactly what I want to do.
Damn
Clown
straight.
Sack had to dual wield 2-handed.
The only problem is that he's a blood elf and weapons scale down on blood elves.
Oh yeah, so they're tinier.
Yeah.
At least I'm not a gnome.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh man. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. How about you, Caps? What have
Well,
you been playing?
Yeah, well, I watched you play Eidolon, and the only way I could describe it was, it's gone home, but outside.
Yeah,
It's
that's
gone
it.
home outside, not as scary and less lesbians.
Yeah, you have less family members to worry.
Because everyone's dead.
You walk out and you're like, no one's here.
Also,
Um,
I also feel like You know, I'm not saying recreational drugs make your Eidolon experience better, but that's exactly what I'm saying.
Actually,
And with Gone Home, I feel like recreational drugs might make your experience worse because like the atmosphere and everything is so just like dark and spooky.
And it has no reason to be that spooky. It's just like a trick to make it seem like a twist.
I don't know. There was like one room I found.
I think it's actually important that it's spooky because like the whole point of Gone Home is to make your imagination make the whole situation scarier than it actually is.
But there is a subplot that you can find by finding stuff in Gone Home where like your uncle who owned the house like killed himself there.
Yeah.
And stuff, but you can find like a secret passage room where it's like filled with like creepy newspaper clippings.
Yeah.
And when
I found that.
Cross off the ground, like the lights flicker off and like a noise happens.
Yep.
So it's maybe haunted.
You know.
Or you know.
Could be.
Or it's a storm and
or it's a storm and it's like a shitty old house.
Or the contractor only built to code.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, I would say, you know, Eidolon, like that's just like a chill game, you know, it's relaxing. And I think Gone Home just manages to create this atmosphere that feels like really sort of oppressive and spooky. Just really the main difference between the two. Anyway, I'm done. Continue.
Yes, but games that I actually played, more Binding of Isaac, more
More Binding of
Warcraft. Yeah, I love Binding of Isaac. It's like my jam. But yesterday, I was feeling really bored, and I was like, I'm gonna kickstart a game that has like an available demo.
All right. What was it?
So I kickstarted something completely unique, hasn't been done before ever. It's a pixelated platformer.
Ooh.
Pixelated.
It's called Cavern Kings, and it's basically Risk of Rain, but much faster paced.
Cool.
Okay.
So
I enjoyed myself some Risk of Rain. I might be on board with that.
Yeah, it's very good. I got it for $10. Basically, the whole map is just whatever is on your screen, right? It's like just like one of those one-screen things.
Got it.
And you have a melee weapon that you pick up, and it's random every time. I think the weapons are like Jackhammer, Power Fist, and a shovel.
All right.
And you get one each playthrough. And then you like jump down, and there's a bunch of terrain, and all of it is smashable. Basically, you can break all the terrain with your melee weapon, as well as your shooting weapon, which is either a TNT thrower, which sucks. It's the worst. It has a super short range, tons of knockback on yourself. You can kill yourself, like it takes you down to half health if you like accidentally shoot it down. And there's a saw blade thrower, which I think might be the best weapon in the game, because as long as the saw is touching someone, they keep taking damage, and it's really fast. So against really big enemies, like just runs through them, and as long as it's touching them, it keeps doing damage. So it's really good against bosses. And then there's the harpoon gun, which is basically just a rail gun. Just shoots across the map, and it's instant. Has a bunch of knockback though.
How much?
And the nail gun.
Since it's like a Kickstarter demo.
Well, it's actually the beta. The demo is available for free, but I was playing the most current beta.
Okay.
And then after a while, and like enemies just kind of come at you from the sides, and you just kill them over and over and get money. And items drop, and it's almost identical to Risk of Rain, where like you pick up an item and it just shows up and whatever. And there's chests, and the chests cost money to open. And then after a while, a like giant saw that's like the size of the level starts coming down and crushing the entire level as it's coming down. And that's when you dig down and go to the next level. And so on, and so on, and so on.
Forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, lifesteal is extremely overpowered in that game, and the power fist is god awful. To the point of like I restart the game every time I pick it up. And yeah, it's very, very fun. I bought it at maybe like midnight, and it's like 8 megabytes.
It sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I played it against like 4 a.m. without realizing it, or until 4 a.m. without realizing it. It was very fun.
Did you end up playing any more of Mount Your Friends?
Well, I'm okay at it. Like I can launch myself.
Okay, that's good.
But I've never actually managed to play it with friends because
Yep. We will have to do that.
I've mounted the PC.
I too have mounted the PC. I haven't played with any
So-
actual people yet.
Yeah, so we should do that.
Yeah,
Mount alone.
I have been playing Mount alone.
Yeah, I mounted myself. So yeah, that's what I've been playing as far as I can remember.
Okay.
Ride the bull.
And then I've also been playing Fract OSC.
Ooh.
Sweet segue.
I haven't. Shit.
I've been playing a lot of it.
He recommended the game.
That's why Alan's been so quiet. He's like,
Yeah, well, there are puzzles that take some amount of mental effort.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
I would disagree
Okay.
I would also disagree.
for the most
but,
part.
I've watched Trevor play Fract OSC, and it is the most painful experience.
oh, you can just like hear the gears grinding. No offense, Trevor.
It's all right. It's all right.
Literally,
Okay.
So I guess we should describe what Fract OSC is.
Trevor was like, Evie, I need your help in finishing this game. You need to help me. And I was like, this is going to be really hard for me because it's hard for me to watch you play this game. And he said, but I need you. And so, because I love him, I helped him out. And so he put me in front of this puzzle. He was like, this is a really hard puzzle. And I was like, babe, the answer is so obvious. Like, it is literally written there. And then, so that was that, and then he would walk past the puzzles. Like, the hardest part for him was noticing where a puzzle was. So he'd be like, man, I don't know where I'm going. I'm walking on this path, but it's clearly not this thing directly in front of me. I should go to the left! And he'd completely lost.
And then there was the time he solved the puzzle and kept trying to solve it for like 20 minutes.
This puzzle, I got the first half done, but I need to do the second half, and so I'm sitting in front of this computer trying to fucking solve this puzzle, and I like solve it to the point where I'm like, this is what the solution would be. This is how it would work to get all of these things to fill up, and nothing's happening. And then Jacob comes up and he's like, I'm pretty sure that puzzle's already solved.
So yeah, it ends up.
Wait. Let's actually like talk about
Wait,
what the
okay,
game actually is.
so I never played Fract OSC, and I know that you guys like have been talking about how it's a puzzle game, but like
So,
I know you guys have also been talking about how you walk around in it. So like, what is the setting? Like
there's no real setting for Fract. You are in this like weird ambient,
Like Tron-looking.
Yeah,
Tron-looking space.
You're
It's-
you're in Skrillex's synthesizer.
Yeah, it's like a journey through Skrillex's MacBook.
Yeah.
And
If anything, you're in the MacBook of the Daft Punk programs from Tron.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
The best way I can describe it is it's like a mix between any music game and like Antechamber, kind of,
Yeah.
where you don't really know where you are.
Yeah, my best description of it is it's like Antechamber, but less interesting.
Yeah.
I would say it's like Antechamber, but with less inspirational messages around every corner.
And much less clever puzzles.
Yeah, the puzzles were mostly easy.
Yeah, there's 3 areas, right? And each one has like a different style of puzzles.
Oh wait, there are only so the 3 colors. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
What?
3 colors and then four puzzles for each color.
And then a
Wait,
final one.
It was like $15. I'm already done with a third of it.
Yeah. But there's also like a meta puzzle where you have to like notice a detail during each puzzle and then you like solve that puzzle that way.
Yeah.
But
So
once you finish all 3 areas, you go into like a 4th area and it's one giant puzzle and then you solve that and you're done.
Yeah.
That was a cool area.
And-
I liked
Yeah, it was pretty cool,
And
but
aside from the puzzles, there's also a music generator in the game. And so by doing the puzzles, so each color represents something. There's like pink is lead, blue is bass, and then green is like synth or something.
Green is Inception noise.
Yeah, green is annoying.
Green is Pat.
essentially.
Pat synthesizer or something.
And
Okay.
every puzzle that you solve in that color unlocks a new feature for that sound. So like if you beat all of pink, you've unlocked all of the lead sounds or like effects, and then you can make more lead music. And then
But once you beat like the 4th puzzle for that color, or no, the fifth puzzle, the one where it's with the details, you unlock advanced options, and they're actually pretty advanced for your music thing.
Yeah, because you don't just have to make a loop. You can like make real songs at that point, and
Yeah, but like you also get like intense options for customizing the sound of each like beat or whatever.
So you
Yeah.
go through Skrillex's computer, you solve all his problems, and then you get to make his music.
essentially, yeah,
exactly.
you just slap a MacBook and music comes out. Like that's
It's
Skrillex
like
101.
if GarageBand, like you had to like go through the hassle of unlocking every single sound in GarageBand
Yeah.
by
But-
playing Antichamber, but worse.
So,
Yeah.
is there any sort of like story behind
No.
this?
No.
Or...
There's
None.
absolutely no story, no
Even
characters.
Antichamber had more story,
Yeah.
which made no
Chamber had
sense.
story.
Yeah, if you beat the game, there was like a weird like thing.
Yeah.
Like it was not understandable in any way.
But so with Fract though, one of the cool things about it that I really like is like you have all of these explorable areas, and there are places you can go in the game that aren't related to any of the puzzles that you have to do.
They're just pretty.
Yeah, they're just pretty, and there's like achievements based around them. It's like, oh, find the sunken ship, or like find like the crap. And so like you just go around and you find this weird stuff, and there's no explanation as to what it is, and then you just go and solve a music puzzle. Because whatever.
I actually hated all the extra areas because I kept getting lost in the pink puzzle area. Like
Okay.
my problem was not the puzzles, my problem was getting to the puzzles.
Pink was terrible.
Yeah.
So in the game, an explanation for Kelly, there are like travel points that you get to where you can like fast travel between certain areas. And normally it's like when you go to a new puzzle, there's a fast travel area for it, so you can get to that puzzle quicker. I finished all of Pink and still managed to miss a fast travel point somewhere.
I
was
missed
missing
two.
Yeah, me too. I also was missing two by the end of the game.
Also, the way the map works, Kelly, imagine the way waypoints on the map in World of Warcraft work,
Uh-huh.
but retarded.
So like vanilla WoW map point.
Yeah, I mean, like,
No, like there is no real map. They're just like these blobs, and you choose a blob and hope it's the one you want to go to.
Yeah.
they're kind of like
Wow.
it's kind of like an abstract representation of the map, where like they appear as almost kind of like planets, sort of like in a circle around each other, but it doesn't really give you a good geographical sense of like where you're going on the map. It's just like a little symbol over the top of the planet that lets you know which one you're going to.
So here,
Yeah,
we're
the only thing I figured out was
Oh, here we go. Hold
So
on.
this is what the soundboard looks like when you're creating your own music.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
yeah.
So
That's not even the fancy options.
yeah.
Yeah, these aren't the fancy
Someone's
options.
going to Gen Con. Sorry.
Oh,
We lost her.
Yeah, that's basically the whole style of the game. Is like
Nice.
those colors and then black and then literally not a single texture.
look.
Like it is all solid colors.
Dude, this one is pretty interesting. Like this is
Oh,
like the
wow.
home base for like Pink, basically.
Yeah.
So do you guys feel like the game may have a valued artwork maybe over gameplay or game design?
Well, it was only made by 3 people.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, it was like a student game, I think,
Yep.
is what it said on Steam.
I did that thing I like to do where I watched a bunch of like developer commentaries and stuff like that. And so he originally made it himself, like a much smaller version of the game when he was still in college. And he actually didn't know anything about game design. He downloaded Unity and just started trying to like make a game. And when he decided to try and like bring it to market, he brought his wife on board and then hired a programmer. And I guess when he hired that programmer, the programmer looked at like the game he'd made and like cried. He was like, "This is painful. Like, you've done so many redundant things that it's like it's hard to actually make anything out of this." And they actually scrapped his original game, which still had a very similar like feel and theme, and just remade it. It was easier to do that than to try and like fix what he had originally made, which I thought was really cool. I thought that was kind of a funny story. But yeah, like it kind of speaks to like the game in that he was able to make it because of his love for music, without having a lot of programming knowledge. And I think that's kind of where that angle of the game comes from. It's like that wasn't the focus. The focus was on music and on using it as like a puzzle aspect.
And he
But-
said that he drew inspiration from Myst, and dear God,
Yes.
can you see that?
Yes. At first, I didn't understand that until I got to the puzzles where you had to find like stuff out in the environment and like take notes on it.
Oh yeah.
And then that was when I was like, okay, now I get it.
Yeah, the real answer to that was
missed.
Google it.
Yeah, Google is the
At that point,
answer.
It was like, oh man,
Yeah.
I know what I need to do, and I remember where all this is, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna Google.
So
it.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I felt about it. I was like, well, I know exactly what I need to do. I know where it is.
I think my problem with how those puzzles played out was less like I like the idea of wandering around and finding all these things because it kind of justifies like the giant environment. Which like it's really cool that everything connects together, but until I found those puzzles, I didn't understand why it needed to exist that way. But like once I found that out, I thought that was really cool. But then at the same time, once you get to those big final puzzles, there's not a lot of good player feedback to let you know when you're getting closer to actually getting it into the right spot. Because a lot of those things just give you like a range. They don't really give you the specific like spot you need
only
to
the
adjust
pink
it.
one was like the most specific.
Yeah, the
'cause of
pink one
grid
was
pattern.
the pink one was pretty specific, but the other two. And like you don't get a lot of good feedback as a player that you're getting closer because like the music still plays the same based on what you're doing. There's not a lot of good cues to let you know you're getting closer.
Yeah, and it doesn't even let you know that you're getting it right until all four are in the right place.
Until everything's right, this bar starts filling at the bottom. Whereas which like that bar could have been used to give player feedback. It could have been like
done fourths.
Yeah, it could have been like it fills up and stops and it's like, oh okay, I have something right, but not everything, and you could have fiddled with it. But instead, once you have it right, you just have to let it sit there and wait for it to fill up. Which seems a little weird. Like you could have used that, that bar could have been used to kind of give the player a little bit more feedback as opposed to just slowly filling and making you wait. So that was maybe the one angle of the game that I didn't enjoy. The rest of it I was totally on board for.
What I found kind of weird is whenever you solve a puzzle, there's a secondary puzzle where you like deal with the sequencer or whatever.
Yeah.
And the doors one, every single time I got it right, I felt like I was cheating. Like I didn't feel like I got it right. I felt like I was just like
it's like all good puzzles.
That you could run while the music is going.
Yeah, I was like, well, like I assumed they would like once I get it right, they would just all stay open. That's what I assumed.
That's what Trevor had that problem too. Until I told him like, no, you just go through it.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna just try to figure it out. I'm just gonna run through.
Oh yeah.
So I felt like I was cheating it.
Yeah,
that's what you gotta do.
Kept trying to do after he beat it because like because the pink one you fill up a bar that's like in the shape of an exclamation point kind of.
That's right.
And when you beat it, it fills up halfway and then like it keeps going.
Yep.
So he thought he had to do it again.
So I'm kind of an idiot, and I was like, well, I guess I have to fill up the other half too. And I started like remixing the song and like changing things around, and it ends up I would finished it like 20 minutes ago. I didn't actually have to be doing anything.
I may have done something similar just now.
Oh, no.
Funnily enough, pink was the only one where I was like, the moment I got it right, I was like, oh yeah, I got it right. Like the one with like the ball lasers.
Yeah, the green one. It's like it never actually sounded like music because it just goes.
Well, nothing in any of mine sounded like music because apparently my laptop can't like play the sounds correctly, so all the sounds kept clipping.
Oh, that sucks.
Just non-stop. So I was like, wait, is it supposed to sound glitchy as part of the aesthetic? Or like...
Definitely not.
No, it's the music.
Yeah, apparently not. Apparently it's just supposed to be nice and ambient as opposed to fucking sound clipping.
Yeah, the music is pretty... Like, the music was one of my favorite parts of...
Which, that's good, because that's kind of...
No wonder I hated the music.
Yeah, the music is actually really good, and it was so good that even when Trevor was stuck on a puzzle for like 3 hours, it didn't get on my nerves.
Yeah,
that's
I
good.
just looked over at him and was like, God damn it.
Yeah, getting stuck on a green puzzle was the worst, though.
Yep.
Because it wasn't making music. If you got stuck on a green puzzle, you just have to sit there with...
Wait, is green the lasers or the... okay, yeah.
The lasers.
Green is synth lasers.
Yeah, the green I thought was super easy. Like, for me it was look how long each laser takes and then like immediately do it.
Yeah.
Like that was like the process for me.
Yeah, it was time delay.
Yeah, it was kind of like figuring out which one takes the longest to fill, and then just making sure that that one has like all the bars it needs, and then just putting everything else near the end.
Yep.
And that usually did it.
The hardest puzzles for me were like the primary puzzles, not the sequencer like secondary ones. Was wait, is it pink? I think it was pink.
Blocks.
Yeah, pink is the one where you move blocks. Yeah, that one was the hardest for me. Like
God,
the last one
took forever.
I had a hard time
Is
with
that the
that
one I
one.
solved?
That's the one you
quickly?
helped me with. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
It
easy.
took me as much time to solve that one as it took me to get to it.
Yeah, I got lost a lot in Fract OSC also. Often.
So I have a question more about like
Yes.
puzzle games than this game. So I know that puzzle games often give people like a background incentivization to play it. You know, it's like for example, Professor Layton, you
Yep.
have a mystery and a storyline. But what about this one? Like, do you feel like do you guys feel like you were incentivized to do it because of the music, or
I would say that if it wasn't for the music, there wouldn't be too much of a reason to engage with the game. There's not any story at all. Like you're kind of just thrown into it, and there's no dialogue, there's no story. Everything is about the music.
Puzzles aren't currency.
Yeah.
But you know what is currency?
hmm
Music creation tools.
Yeah. Yep.
so can you actually make music at
Yeah,
the
and you can save it onto files, I
Yep.
think.
Oh, nice.
You can save it,
Wow.
and you can upload it and share it, and you even
Yep.
get achievements for doing that.
Yep. For me, I'm gonna sound like the bad person here. If it wasn't for the
Okay.
podcast, I would not finish the game.
Wait. So would you guys have finished the game had it not been?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I loved Fract.
I really liked it. Like getting lost kind of sucked. But you know when that happened, I usually would just like Google like a YouTube video or something to find the puzzle, which is kind of a bummer. Like it might speak to the layout of the game map that it's not really easy to find where the next puzzle is. But I still enjoyed the actual puzzle solving. And for me, I think one of the things I really enjoyed. Like I'm glad that I saw it through because that last room was one of the coolest things that I saw in that game. I thought that final puzzle room was like one of the coolest parts of the game. Because as you're figuring out like the puzzles in that last room, you actually get to manipulate the entire environment. Like you're straight up like moving walls and like tearing holes in walls to get around. And like by the end of it, when you make it to like the final puzzle where you're putting in all the synthesizer like information, each like bar and thing is another item in the room. And so by the end of it, once you've solved it, the whole room is just like alive and bouncing and moving and like bright. Like I wasn't told at any point like what I was doing or what I was trying to do, but I still felt like I accomplished something at the end with the amount of like fanfare I got. Like I thought that ending was super awesome.
So it makes sense.
Cool.
For me, when I reached that final puzzle, I'm sure Jacob knows this, but you get like I couldn't reach any of the platforms where I didn't realize that you needed to right click to like see the option to like go up platforms.
Right.
And it gives you an achievement where it's like the end was not written.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, was there no end to this game? Did I just like get like ripped off? And like I messaged Jacob about this. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then like 5 minutes later, I was like, never mind.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense then because Caps's music wasn't working. And
Oh
you
yeah.
stayed in it for the music. It makes sense that Caps had a less enjoyable experience with it than you two.
Yeah.
It's very possible.
Yeah, that's possible.
And like I've definitely booted that game up sometimes just to dick around with the music maker and not actually do puzzles. Because the music maker is really fun and simple. It's it's one of the ones where it's like a giant grid, and the more left to right is when it plays, and up and down on the grid is like what tone it is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
it's
can
like,
just drag
it's
your
like
mouse
Fruity Loops,
across it.
basically.
Yeah.
It's like Fruity Loops,
Yeah.
Yeah.
essentially.
Pretty much.
except a
yeah.
game.
It's true. So, Alan, as the person with the freshest experience with this game, how are you feeling so far?
I think the puzzles are way too trial and error.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I think so. Well, no, only the ones with
I can hear it going in the background.
Yeah, I can too. That's why I asked.
the blue ones. I thought were the most trial and error-y.
I'm working on a pink one right now where I got the exclamation point. Now I'm on the other side of it and getting the pizza slice.
Yeah.
And it's there aren't that many combinations. So I'm just gonna try them.
It's not that hard, really.
So are
Each
you?
one has a different longevity.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
with those pink puzzles, Alan, you might notice like a little like line that's like bouncing up and down. Like when the tone goes, it kind of like goes down and then comes back up.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, I probably want to time something with that, huh?
Yep.
It's not really about how long the line is, as opposed to like how long the pink bar stays lit.
Yeah. That's
For
probably
each
Oh, there
section.
you go. Got it.
nice.
Yeah.
So I guess at the end of the day, would you guys recommend this to anyone?
I mean, that's why I made you guys play it.
I would recommend it to anyone who's a fan of puzzle games. Someone who especially enjoyed like the older puzzle games, like Myst, where you actually had to like take notes, would probably get a little special enjoyment out of it. But if you're someone who has not enjoyed like puzzle games in the past, maybe if you have a really strong love of like music, this might win you over. But without that, it'd probably just frustrate you as much as other puzzle games have.
Yeah, I should also warn that, like, any of you who have, like, seen my iPod, I have an intense love of synth pop, so
Yep.
I might be really biased towards
Yeah.
it.
So I really enjoyed it. Like I
think it's the music that sells it.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why
possibly.
you play it. You play it for the music. That's why you solve the puzzles, so you can unlock more things to make more music.
Yeah.
So if you really love music, then you'll probably love the game.
Yeah.
This type of music.
Eh.
Well, that's true. Alan is the
Alan's big on
resident expert
music,
on
and he
reasons
doesn't.
to play games.
And he doesn't sound like he's really digging it so far.
I don't really like puzzle games.
Not winning him over. This is not
That's
winning
true.
Alan over.
I remember you in Leighton.
Yeah, well, no, I liked Leighton because I liked earning Picarats, and I liked the whole sort of I like the world of Leighton. Like, I could live in that world. I would do that as a profession. Just go around,
Just go around like solving people's matchstick problems and lowering.
So you don't like puzzle games, but you want to live in a world where it's entirely controlled by puzzles?
Yeah, well, no, I think puzzles are great. I just think puzzle games aren't that great. And really it's 3D puzzles. Like 2D puzzles are fantastic. 3D puzzles are annoying.
Well, I don't know, man. Professor Layton has made some puzzles where I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah. But then there's they mix in like logic puzzles, and also it's a multi-discipline thing. The problem with this is that this is all like sort of spatial reasoning puzzles. And
Did you before we like do any wrap up, did you ever play Miracle Mask?
I don't know, a few like half an hour of it maybe.
Okay, there was like a puzzle, I think, in Miracle Mask where like he hands you a piece of paper and he's like, solve this math equation, and there's like a bunch of math written on it, and then tears in it, like rips in the paper, and like I tried to solve every problem written on that. It turns out if you turn the DS upside down, the tears in the paper are like numbers and then like math symbols, and I was just like, fuck you, game. I would never have like looked at that.
Yeah, that's like in what was I think it was the first Zelda for DS.
Yeah, where you have to make the two pieces of the map touch each other.
Yep.
To like connect them.
That took me like an
And you have
hour to figure
You
out.
have to close the DS.
Yep.
It was pretty awesome.
Or for one of the new Pokemon, in order for them to evolve, while they're leveling up, you gotta flip your DS upside down.
Oh yeah,
No.
because there's certain ones that like evolve upside down.
Oh.
For some reason.
Yeah, because he's like a squid, and when like he evolves, he looks like an upside down but bigger version of himself.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. I like that.
It's like that one Pokemon. It's like just that one.
So
Yeah.
no,
Wait, can I give my impressions of the
Go
game
for it.
real
Yes.
quick?
go for
So
it.
based on my impressions, awful clippy music. You gotta walk a lot
Oh, there's so much
and
walking.
not get anywhere.
Oh my god, there's so much walking.
And because of like the way the world looks, you end up falling off of cliffs nonstop.
Oh, I didn't have that problem.
The moment you stop paying attention, just dive down, and it takes so long for you to respawn because you're falling for so long.
Yeah, you can press start and click return to waypoint, but then you have to walk again, so it doesn't totally
Yeah.
solve your problem.
What else? Puzzles, pretty boring. Like once you beat the first puzzle for each new area, you basically beat them all. And
So you're saying it was a great game?
yeah,
Yeah.
I hate it. 10 out of 10. IGN.
Okay.
10 out of 10 would pursue.
Music first-person puzzles is a great combo, says informed gamer.
What would your ready for the box quote be, Caps?
I hate it. 10 out of 10. Would not recommend.
My quote would be play Antichamber instead.
Yeah, yeah. My quote would be look at Alan's quote.
Mine would be like kid tested, Skrillex approved.
What would be yours, Trevor?
Oh man. Oh jeez. I don't know.
This is a lot of pressure, man. It's gonna go on a box, dude.
I know. Yeah. Like you gotta be careful with
Yeah,
this
this game is coming to Xbox One.
Oh,
It's gonna be like
I would probably just stick the National Geographic label on it, and then like try to market it as like a journey inside a synthesizer. Like,
That's what hacking is like.
yeah, that's it. Journey to the center of a MacBook. That's I like it.
starring Jack Black. Got it.
Yeah, narrated by Matt Damon.
The untold chapters of Gulliver's Travels.
MacBook.
Yep.
All right, cool. So that is Fract OSC.
Yep. And this has been FaceRollin. You can find us on youtube.com/FaceRollin. Is that a thing?
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
YouTube.com is not a very well-known website, so
Gotta really look for it.
As well as SoundCloud.com/FaceRollin, or however you reach users on there.
I have no idea how SoundCloud works. This is a journey.
It's hashtag FaceRollin.
Yes.
Hashtag
Alright.
blessed.
Yeah.
We did it.
Skrillex synthesizer.
I'll see you guys next
Hashtag 10 out of 10 IGN.
Nice.
Awful game.
All right. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Alright.